Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Reborn as a Snake, Turning into a Dragon. Chapter 1. Thousands of miles of green mountains. When the mountain wind clears the clouds and mists, it is a piece of emerald green. In a dim cave, a scarlet letter swallowed, discerning the smell in the air. I was no longer a man, but a snake. Lin Mu woke up from a long dream and found himself reborn. Turned into a snake. After only a moment of absence, Lin Mu accepted this reality. No sighs. There is no mourning. For a dead person, being able to be reborn is the greatest blessing. What kind of species is it? How dare you ask for more? Besides, who hasn't been a human yet? Calm down and take a closer look at your brand new body. The whole body is snow white, about a foot in length, harmless to animals. There are also some broken shells beside it. Little snake, it seems that I was born not long ago. With human IQ, Lin Mu doesn't think being a snake is bad. At least snakes are considered top predators. But young snakes are different. Because it has not yet grown up, it is easy to be food for other predators. I don't know what world I was reborn in. Lin Mu murmured again, but the sound was as thin as mosquito silk, which was not heard by others. Twirling his snake body, Lin Mu drilled his little head out of the small hole. Looking around, in the depths of a mountain forest. It was pitch black everywhere, and nothing could be seen. It should be late at night, but the night in the forest is not peaceful. The ferocious beast roared in the distance, hissing like a tide, and the forest trembled faintly. The mountain wind blows, rolling up the leaves all over the sky. There is a faint chilling air between the heaven and the earth. Lin Mu felt a little terrified in his heart. It was very dangerous for him to go out like a young snake in such an environment. It's just a walking stick. It's basically the same as giving away the head. But in the end, he twisted his body cautiously and swam out. Because Lin Mu must first be familiar with the surrounding environment. Also prepare yourself for foraging. But at the moment Lin Mu went out, in the mountains and forests, the birds and beasts flew suddenly. It seems that there are terrible monsters haunting. Ah, this ostentation can't be because of me, can it? Lin Mu shook his head and smiled wryly. He is a young snake, what can he do? It's not a giant python. What kind of storm can be caused? Boom! The hill where he was standing shook violently. From nowhere, a burly tiger came, which was as large as 3 feet. It's like a divine soldier descending from the sky, so mighty. Lin Mu was stunned all of a sudden. With the help of the pale moonlight, he quickly saw the whole beard and tail of this fierce tiger. The opponent's hair bloomed like a flame, and the black stripes spread out, full of explosive power. It stands on all fours, majestic and domineering. Ow! A roar of a tiger raised its head to the sky, shaking the mountains and forests immediately, spreading all over the wilderness. The mountain forest at low tide was silent at this moment. All things prostrate, sincerely and fearfully. The tiger overlooks the forest, it is patrolling its own territory, and it can see the trembling of the beasts. It enjoys the feeling of being the king of beasts. All other creatures are ants. Lin Mu looked terrified. How can this tiger be so big? It is 3 feet high, more than 10 meters high. Could it be that I was reborn in the world of demons? I'm afraid this tiger has become a spirit. Tiger essence without a doubt. Just thinking about it in my heart, a pair of piercing and terrifying eyes came like sharp swords. There were ripples in the air along the way. The burly tiger spirit spotted the tiny baby snake outside the cave behind him. The pale moonlight shone on the young snake, making its snow-white gnats shine brightly. Small in size, but eye-catching. Lin Mu's whole body was stiff and straight, and he couldn't help but shudder in his heart. The coercion of the king of beasts, like a mountain, crushed under its weak snake body. He actually found himself unable to move, a feeling of suffocation, the breath of death. Walking on eggshells. Laugh. The tiger spirit's terrifying pupils narrowed slightly, flashing a trace of disdainful contempt. A mere spicy bar. Instantly ignored. Such a young snake is not even qualified to be a snack. Then, the ground shook, and the burly tiger spirit disappeared without a trace. Visited other areas. Call. Lin Mu took a deep breath and saved his life. It seems that becoming a young snake is not the worst thing. The worst thing is that I am in the king of beasts territory. Such a tiger spirit, even if Lin Mu were a giant python, he might be torn to pieces. Instead, he should be glad that he is just a young snake. Otherwise, it will become the tiger spirit's supper. Lin Mu went back to his small cave. It was too dangerous outside, so he should stay there obediently. Because night is when many predators go out to find food. But at this moment, ding, the host successfully adapted to the new body, and the 10,000-fold accelerated time system started. A virtual light curtain panel appeared in front of Lin Mu. Race, snake. Identity, young snake, 0.3 meters. Age, under 1 year old. Lifespan, 10 years. Bloodline, normal. Ability, none. Territory, none. In the territory of the tiger spirit. The host has no ability to protect himself when he is young. Please answer a question in this system first. What is the biggest dream of being a snake? Lin Mu suppressed the excitement that appeared on Goldfinger, and calmly replied, Huolong. A soldier who doesn't want to be a general is not a good soldier. A snake that does not want to transform into a dragon is like a salted fish. The answer is normal. I plan to take the evolutionary training route of Zhao Huolong for the host. Successful evolution training route planning. 10 years of cultivation to become a python, 100 years of cultivation to become a master. 1,000 years of cultivation to become the snake king in the mountains, leading the snakes. 5,000 years of practice, crossing the catastrophe and becoming a flood dragon. Practice for 10,000 years, ascend to the gate of heaven and transform into a dragon. The so-called, the big python is on the mountain, crossing the catastrophe to become a dragon, ascending to the gate of heaven and transforming into a dragon. However, Lin Mu couldn't help but gasp. His snake would have to practice for 10,000 years before it could evolve into a dragon. This time is too long. We must know that human beings are the elders of all spirits, and the general lifespan is only a few hundred years. The host is invisible and worried about the long training time. You can activate the 10,000 times acceleration time, which can greatly shorten your training cycle and improve quickly. 10,000 times accelerated time. Lin Mu's little snake eyes were shining brightly. If the time can be shortened, his young snake can be directly evolved into a dragon. Didn't he get up in an instant? At that time, there is no need to be afraid of mere tiger spirits. The tiger is nothing but the king of beasts. And the dragon is the king of all beasts, overlooking all things in the world, who will compete with them. Immediately afterwards, Lin Mu's mind appeared in Lin Mu's mind to explain the specific rules of 10,000-fold time acceleration. In fact, it is also very simple. Wait for him to activate the 10,000 times time acceleration. Then the time will be in multiples of tens of thousands. Just like Lin Mu's practice for 1 year is equivalent to 10,000 years of practice. Conversely, 10,000 years is shortened to 1 year. With this 10,000-fold time acceleration, Lin Mu, a young snake, only needs to practice for 1 year to become a 9-day dragon flying through the clouds and fog. Ha ha ha, 10,000 years is too long. He is a snake who only fights for the day and night. With this 10,000 times time acceleration assistance, he Lin Mu can be called the snake of choice, destined to skyrocket to 90,000 miles. When the tiger spirit glanced at him earlier, he couldn't move. Life and death are nothing more than a thought of the other party. Lin Mu didn't want to try this kind of aggrieved feeling. Live as a hero and die as a ghost. Being a snake, he wants to go to the gate of heaven and transform into a dragon. From then on, he transcended the ordinary and became holy, looking down on the world. Let's get started. Lin Mu couldn't wait to get up, and said quietly, turn on 10,000 times time acceleration. After the words fell, the system started to work. A boundless light of time shrouded the foot-long snow-white young snake. The time in the cave began to pass quickly, with a flick of a finger. As time passes by, time drowns the sun and the moon, and confuses the universe. Lin Mu seemed to have entered a strange space that seemed to be dreamlike and unreal. He couldn't even feel the trace of time. The passage of time at this time, to his snake, is more than a flick of a finger. After just a few breaths, Lin Mu noticed an obvious change in the body of his young snake. Every cell in his body began to rejoice. Chi-chi. The body squirmed, and the muscles began to stretch continuously. The young snake, which was only 3 centimeters, suddenly grew to more than 1 meter. And the body began to thicken. This, accelerate according to 10,000 times the time. It seems that it is only a few breaths, but it may have been more than 10 days. calculated by shortening 1 year from 10,000 years. Then 1 day of Lin Mu's practice is equivalent to a time span of 27 years. Now, Lin Mu's experience feels great. Every moment, my body undergoes earth-shaking changes. It was as if a majestic force had been instilled into the body. The majestic power surged wildly in the body. Lin Mu's small snake body was trembling, his blood was tumbling, and his flesh and blood were sublimating. In a deep mountain forest that is not peaceful at night, in a small cave, a young snow-white snake began to glow all over its body, and its small body actually increased at a speed visible to the naked eye. The time acceleration of 10,000 times is extremely terrifying. Several hours passed. The small cave couldn't accommodate his body. The soft soil cracked like an earthquake. A pair of glowing snake body broke through the ground like a seed sprouting. With scales all over his body, he exudes a natural cold aura. Not long ago, Lin Mu was a 3-centimeter baby snake. But suddenly looking back, he is now a snake several meters long. The snow-white scales all over the body exuded a cold breath, and the scales opened and closed with breathing. Wipe the arrogance unique to top predators. If the Tiger King who patrolled the territory before came back. I can't believe it even if I beat it to death, it's that little spicy stick. Because it's only been a long time, and the night has not retreated. The pale moonlight still enveloped the earth. Everything was left intact. Only this snake is undergoing earth-shaking changes every moment. Over time, Lin Mu's snake body continued to skyrocket. Stretching up, the cold aura of snakes intensified, and the temperature of the surrounding environment plummeted. The birds and beasts in this area seemed to have sensed something terrible, and they all let out uneasy roars. In the darkness, countless pairs of eyes looked in the direction of Lin Mu, the snake. Unbelievable human emotions are revealed. Because the snake has become bigger than the naked eye. It seems to have taken some magic medicine. Time passes silently, so that nothing can perceive it. But the birds and beasts seem to see traces of time from the snake. Just a few glances, as if seeing the alternation of seasons. Time changes. The sun and moon are replaced. Everything disappeared without a trace, only this snake was different. Soon, it was dawn. Soon, it was dark again. In the blink of an eye one day. Look at the snake Lin Mu again, 1 foot becomes 6 meters, like a carp leaping over a dragon gate. The snow-white scales reflected the cold light like pig iron, exuding a dark and murderous air. Surprised surrounding creatures shuddered with fear and anxiety. Treat this place as a restricted area, and dare not cross the thunder pool half a step. Even birds and beasts dare not fly over it. I'm going to molt. An unknown whisper came out, and Lin Mu knew it clearly. For this mountain forest, for everything, it's just a snap of the fingers. But for the snake Lin Mu, it has been more than 27 years. In just 1 day, he grew from a 3-centimeter young snake to a 6-meter long boa constrictor. The iron-like scales all over the body seemed to be about to fall off just after growing. Afterwards, Lin Mu's scales began to crack a little bit. Just like undressing, take it off slowly, unload it. But as soon as the scales of the snake's skin cracked, a pale golden blazing light burst out from the cracked body, extremely dazzling. This vision is very visual. Evolution such as molting. This also indicates that Lin Mu, the snake, will be reborn, not what it used to be. Squeak, squeak, creak. Suddenly, a large number of bats flew densely from the depths of the forest. A wave of creaking waves swooped towards Lin Mu who was shedding her skin. Excited, can't stop. Lin Mu opened a pair of snake eyes with vertical pupils, and when he opened and closed, the golden light was shining brightly, and he was extremely indifferent. Is it the light from my body that attracts these bats? These bats are covered in black oil, with 2 big ears and pointed teeth. Tiger-like fangs with a row of fine, pointed fangs underneath. Like the teeth of a vampire in the movie. The number is very large, there are thousands of them. HMPH, looking for death. Lin Mu just took a look, then closed his eyes again, completely ignoring the flying bats. When the group of bats just flew within 5 meters around Lin Mu, something miraculous and weird happened. The bat, which was still full of excitement, was like a body that had been hollowed out all of a sudden. Fly slowly. When they got close to Lin Mu, a big snake that had peeled off their skin, they flew more and more slowly, making it difficult to move an inch. Even in the end, it was directly frozen in the air. Boom! I saw a bat suddenly exploded and turned into blood mist in the air. Then, bats exploded one after another, turning into blood mist and floating in the air. Suddenly there was a downpour of blood in the sky, and the whole forest was filled with the smell of blood. It's really stupid, you dare to break into the space of 10,000 times the acceleration of time. Lin Mu felt contemptuous in his heart. The speeding up of time 10,000 times is beneficial to him, every minute is a qualitative change. But for foreign objects, it is a deadly poison. The 5 meters near him are all within the time acceleration range. As soon as these bats came in, their bodies would be weakened immediately, and they would be crushed by a pair of invisible hands. Take away a few lifespans. This is also the reason why Lin Mu cares about the group of bats lazily. They are dying, why should I stop them? Okay. At this time, Lin Mu was surprised. The bat exploded and it rained blood. The blood rained on Lin Mu's body, covering his snake with a red coat. It actually accelerated the speed of his molt evolution. A wave of external energy merged into the snake body. Let Lin Mu bathe in the warm current. Very comfortable. This group of cute bats are worried that I will grow too slowly, so they sent a gift of death. Suddenly, Lin Mu absorbed the energy of thousands of bats. Before the snake's skin had finished shedding, the snake's body suddenly swelled. 7 meters, 8 meters, 9 meters. In a blink of an eye, he was 3 feet tall, and his body was as thick as an adult's arm. Such a big snake can no longer be ignored. The breath of snakes is getting colder and colder like the winter solstice. Due to the sudden increase in body size, the snake's skin cracked in a large area. It's like a piece of clothing that doesn't fit properly and is bursting. The scales are like autumn leaves, rustling and falling. The snake's skin has cracked 8 out of 10. 10,000 times the time acceleration process. The area where Lin Mu is located seems to be a fragrant area. The bat's moths to the flame are not the end. Over time, in the deep mountains, some large animals came galloping one after another. Even if a 9-meter snake lies here, I can't seem to see it either. It seems that when they come to Lin Mu's place, they can live forever. Well done. After receiving the benefits of bats and absorbing energy, Lin Mu's vertical pupils shone brightly. Boom boom boom. No matter what kind of animal, once it gets close to Lin Mu, its body will be sluggish, and then it will explode into blood mist. All die, become my nourishment. Lin Mu growled. In this dense forest, the movement of death resounded. Time passed and countless creatures died. Early morning, when the first rays of morning light break through the mist and shine in the woods. A 15-meter boa constrictor crawling on the ground instantly soared upwards, roaring upwards. Welcome to a brand new day. The molting is over. Lin Mu became a big red python, 5 feet in length and thick as a bucket. His new scales glistened and were as sharp as blades. Rubbing anything can rub off a layer of skin. A domineering snake lingers all over the body, which cannot be ignored. Even if the original Tiger King came at this time, he would be shocked. Lin Mu's original snow-white scales turned red. This is probably because the process of molting absorbed too much animal blood. Red is more ferocious and terrifying. It's so enjoyable. It's only been 2 days. Lin Mu was deeply shocked by the acceleration of 10,000 times time. With the assistance of this kind of system, let alone a snake, he is considered a dung beetle. I am afraid that sooner or later, it will become the existence that changes the color of this world. Bring it on. Continue. My snake only needs 1 year of wretched development, and it can ascend to heaven and transform into a dragon. In a blink of an eye, it was another 2 days. Ding. The host has cultivated to become a master, has 100 years of Taoism, and comprehended the spell, looking chi technique. Remarks. Any creature, building, mountain, river, or river has its own aura. The chi watching technique can judge the strength of the aura through the rise and fall of the aura. Spell. Lin Mu was surprised. It turns out that he can also automatically comprehend spells as his Taoism strengthens. This hope of chi can be regarded as a small auxiliary spell, but it is very practical. Lin Mu performed the technique of looking forward, opened the snake's eyes, and saw something different around him. Everything has its own aura, its own attributes. He immediately entered a state where seeing mountains is not mountains, and seeing water is not water. If there is someone now, Lin Mu can even see the lifespan and fortune of the other person through his own naked eyes. If there is a monster, he can see the evil spirit and cultivation level of the other party. In addition, don't look at Lin Mu, who only practiced for 4 days, but he has become a master for 100 years. The mana in his body surged like a river flowing through his meridians. The original body of 5 feet has become more than 8 feet. But Lin Mu is not complacent. This is a world of monsters, and there are probably 1,000-year-old gods and 10,000-year-old demons outside. What a mere century! Only when he transforms into a dragon can Lin Mu feel safe. Ah, ah, ah. There was a different sound from Lin Mu's snake mouth. Immediately afterwards, a stream of human language came out. Damn, I can speak out. He couldn't help getting excited. After 100 years of cultivation, one can spit out human words. Even if it encounters humans in the future, Lin Mu, a snake, can communicate with them normally. This is a big breakthrough. System data visualization. Host: Lin Mu. Identity: snake spirit. Age: under 1 year old. Dao Xing: 100 years of Dao Xing. Bloodlines: rare. Spell: breathing. Territory: none. Time speeding up 10,000 times. Lin Mu glanced at his data. The young snake had only been 4 days old, and it had turned into a snake spirit that spoke human words. Possess 100 years of Taoism practice. Such progress is terribly thoughtful. 1,000 miles a day, that's all. Continue to practice. 5th day, 6th day, 7th day. Lin Mu's body continued to skyrocket in the tens of thousands of times of time acceleration. 9 feet, 10 feet, 11 feet. It seems that in 1 day, it can rise by about 10 feet. The red scales all over the body rise and fall with breathing, hiding muscles of terrifying strength. In addition, every day also enhances the cultivation base of 27 years. Wait until the 8th day is over. Ding. The host has 200 years of Taoism, comprehend the 72 magic spells of the earth, the dreaming technique. Remarks. Once this spell is cast, it can make the opponent haunted by nightmares, destroy the opponent's spirit, and even weave dreams and enter and exit freely. Lin Mu broke away from the state of cultivation in an instant, feeling a little surprised in his heart. 36 techniques of Tiangong and 72 techniques of Earth Sha. The magic of heaven and earth change. Lin Mu didn't expect that he had only reached 200 years of cultivation before comprehending a kind of earth evil technique. Does this mean that his snake is a genius in cultivation? Dreaming is the last spell among the 72 spells of earth evil spirits. Many goblins will use it when they have reached a certain level of cultivation. But since it can be listed in the Earth Sha technique, it shows that this kind of spell is also powerful. The dream entering technique is also called the dream marrying technique, and it is in the hands of powerful men with profound cultivation. Once cast, it can trap the people of a city into your nightmare at the same time. You are their nightmare, controlling life and death. Even as long as you are willing, people in a city will never be able to wake up again and die silently in their sleep. Of course, if you have cultivated for 100 years, you will only intimidate the other party in your dreams. Can't kill. It is said that many goblins like to use this dream technique to frighten mortals. Let them present their own children as tribute. 72 transformations. Brother Monkey's unique skill. My snake seems to be on par with monkeys. Lin Mu smiled wickedly. 100 years as a spirit, 1,000 years as a demon, and the comprehension of magic is determined by one's own Taoism. The technique of earth evil has come, so the technique of Tiangong will not be far away in the future. As long as the Tao is profound, there is nothing that cannot be comprehended. Lin Mu is more looking forward to the latter. According to the records of Journey to the West in the previous life, the main purpose of the 72 techniques of earth evil is to avoid the damage caused by the 3 disasters of thunder, fire, and wind, so as to realize the wish of eternal life. And the 36 methods of Tiangong, pay attention to the infinity of 3 and 3, and the infinity of 6 and 6. 36 represents infinity, and the sky changes. For example, mediating good fortune, mending the sky and bathing in the sun, and returning to the sky to reflect, are all great supernatural powers that change the world. Even the last few spells in Tiangong can manipulate the sky. That is what Lin Mu is currently pursuing. After pondering for a moment, Lin Mu continued to be silent in the 10,000-fold time acceleration. No need to think too much, after the Tao is advanced, all that should come will come. 9 days, 10 days, 11 days. Almost every 4 days, Lin Mu strengthens her 100-year practice. According to the system's plan, the snake's first step is to have 1,000 years of magic power. Become the king of snakes in the mountains and lead the snakes. After 300 years of cultivation, Lin Mu realized a magical power, sweeping away thousands of troops. It's magical powers, not spells. When Lin Mu, the snake's physical fitness reaches a certain level, the blood of the snake will increase. Not only the comprehension of spells, but also the activation of supernatural powers. The supernatural power of sweeping thousands of troops is simple and brutal. Once cast, his snake tail seems to be plated with a layer of gold. The golden light shines brightly, fierce and thick, with a terrifying force cohesive. When the snake tail swept out, it was extremely powerful. Even if it is a building, it will also be wiped out in an instant. Lin Mu is still satisfied with the strength of the tail. A creature like a snake has no hands or feet, so it has a natural disadvantage. Melee attacks are either with the mouth, the tail, or the entanglement of the body. Therefore, the supernatural power of sweeping thousands of troops, and the blessing of the snake tail, greatly enhanced Lin Mu's combat effectiveness. 400 years of cultivation. Lin Mu was slightly surprised. Comprehend the art of earth evil, Bigu. Remarks, Bigu, do not drink or eat, eat wind and drink dew, do not eat whole grains or fireworks in the world, the gods live on the breath. Lin Mu was speechless. He came to this world and only had one meal. Now that I understand the Bigu technique, it's all right now, and I won't eat 5 grains directly. It saves him the trouble of finding food for this snake. When Lin Mu practiced to the 18th day, his cultivation has increased to 500 years. Congratulations to the host for possessing 500 years of Taoism, comprehending the fire technique of Earth Sha, and at the same time starting the second molt. Flame. Control the flames and burn the evil spirits. Lin Mu's calm heart throbbed. This can be regarded as a spell with absolute attack power in the Earth Fiend technique. Used well, the lethality is amazing. Suddenly, his big red python caught fire. Burning. The fireworks on his body were dazzling, as if there was a fire phoenix inside his boa constrictor trying to break through the sky. Cha-cha-cha. The red scales made a cracking sound. During the tens of thousands of time acceleration training, Lin Mu's snake body rose to 30 feet unknowingly. Today, shedding skin with 500 years of cultivation is a historic breakthrough. Under the raging fire, Lin Mu, the boa constrictor, seemed to be reborn from nirvana. A domineering snake came out. In the nearby forest, the birds and beasts trembled, trembling at low tide, full of fear and fear. They seemed to have seen the emergence of a new king in this area. Tiger essence will soon be a thing of the past. With the molting under the fire, a vision is born. A special cloud pushed over from all directions, and a snake figure manifested in the sky. Roaring up to the sky, it seems to break out of the cage. In a mountainous area of a high mountain, a sleeping tiger was suddenly awakened. It was the tiger spirit that had patrolled its territory before. Every time the tiger spirit patrols the territory, it will come back to sleep. Usually, he would sleep for at least a few months before waking up, but this time he was awakened by something. This made the tiger spirit very angry. Invisibly, the tiger spirit sensed a sense of crisis. What kind of creature was rising in the territory it ruled? To threaten its status as a tiger spirit. The tiger spirit felt strange. He had just finished patrolling the territory. Didn't notice anything that threatened him. Tiger spirit didn't think too much. Instantly jumped to a peak and stood there. A pair of eyes containing terrifying power began to look down on his territory again. It swallows mountain fog and is majestic. The breathing became heavier, the bones and muscles twisted, and the chains in the body seemed to be cut off. The majestic energy released poured into every inch of flesh and bone in the body. At the same time, tiger spirit was also preparing for the battle. Any existence that threatens its status, it will use its claws and teeth to suppress. Only in the baptism of blood can we tell all things who is the real king. The king of this area can only be one, and that is the tiger essence. Nothing else. It is also not allowed to have other creatures king. Okay, a giant serpent that is winding, burning all over its body. From a distance, it looks like the legendary phoenix that has risen to nirvana. It's hard to ignore. The tiger spirit was surprised. Didn't he inspect that area not long ago? How come such a big snake? The tiger spirit suddenly became murderous. It saw that the giant snake was breaking through and evolving. What shocked the tiger spirit even more was the sky above the head of the giant fire snake. A group of purple clouds appeared, boiling around, and a snake shadow appeared in the sky. It echoes with the purple cloud and does not disperse. This vision is extraordinary. It can be described as otherworldly. You must know that purple clouds represent auspiciousness. Only when emperors, sages, etc. appear, will there be such omens. The tiger spirit became serious, and his face was a little ugly. Such a giant snake is surrounded by purple clouds. It is a unique snake species, and has the potential to become the king of snakes in the mountains in the future. If it breaks through, wouldn't even it, the tiger, be on its stomach? If good fortune is enough, it is not impossible to walk the dragon in the future. Roar. The tiger spirit couldn't help but let out a growl. His whole body was boiling with energy and blood. A giant claw stepped out. The claw was like a sharp blade. Leap forward and kill him straight away. Lin Mu bathed in the fire and felt the great changes in his body. 500 years of shedding is considered a critical point, a breakthrough. Promote the bloodline of his snake family. The next stage is to become a snake king for 1,000 years. 18 days, 500 years of cultivation, 30 feet of snake body. At this moment, Lin Mu felt invincible. He couldn't imagine what a terrifying state it would be to transform himself into a dragon in the future. Roar. At this time, a tiger roared, shaking the mountains and forests. In the distance, a huge body descended like a god, and hit the ground heavily. A ferocious tiger head was exposed first. A pair of terrifying tiger eyes glowed with a terrifying green light, piercing Lin Mu's body. The pattern of flames on the opponent's body is like a cloak, and it is also like a crown crowning. The king of this area, tiger spirit, has descended. It roared in the mountains and forests, and its roar resounded through the sky. The voice was murderous. As soon as the tiger spirit arrives, he stared fiercely at Lin Mu, who had shed his skin from the ashes, and licked his lips with a red tongue full of barbs. Show your sharpness. Seeking a breakthrough and evolution in the territory of this great king, mere boss, you can't find death. The tiger spirit spat out words. Its 3-foot-high body is majestic, which invisibly gives people a huge sense of oppression. Lin Mu opened his snake eyes, not surprised by favor or disgrace. He glanced indifferently at the murderous tiger spirit. Under the Wang Qi technique, the tiger essence has a black evil spirit. It shows that this tiger probably ate a lot of humans. 500 years of cultivation. This is not equivalent to myself. Lin Mu couldn't help smiling. 18 days ago, he was no more than a young snake. In a blink of an eye, he has the same level of cultivation as tiger spirit. Then we have to see, when the time comes, it will be the winner. Wait for me a moment. Lin Mu finally said 4 words to tiger spirit. He's still molting under the fire and won't fight until it's over. Wait. The tiger spirit flew into a rage, stepped forward with a giant claw. Walked towards Lin Mu's location. The murderous aura was so intense that the air along the way couldn't help but twist. It will never pretend that the snake with amazing potential has successfully shed its skin. It is extremely stupid to sit and watch the enemy become stronger. A tiger spirit who can become a 500-year-old man is smarter and wiser than humans. In the dark, a trace of fear flashed in the depths of its pair of green glowing tiger pupils. The snake's breakthrough awakened it from its deep sleep. It is also a natural vision, and the purple clouds echo each other. Invisibly, it put a heavy pressure on Hu Jing. At this time, the opponent's skin is shedding, which is a good time to kill. To be kind to your enemies is to be cruel to yourself. Roar. The tiger spirit roared at Lin Mu. A dark cloud was pushing over from all directions in the sky. In the depths, the thunder light can be vaguely seen flickering on and off. It seems to indicate that the battle between the snake and the tiger is about to break out. When the tiger spirit is within 5 meters of Lin Mu, who is in the fire, it stalled. Surprise and fear flashed in his eyes. It seems to have noticed something strange. It seems that going 1 meter further is taboo. I let you wait for your own good. If you come in, you will die. Lin Mu thought to himself. During the 10,000 times time acceleration, the surrounding range is 5 meters. Except Lin Mu, the host selected by the system. Any creature entering will only hasten death. But the tiger spirit was eager to kill the snake, suppressed the fear in his heart, and stepped in with his front paws. Entered the 10,000 times time acceleration range. But in just an instant, the tiger spirit's expression suddenly changed. The flame-like lines all over his body were eclipsed. Qi and blood weakened rapidly. It quickly retracted its front paws, terrified. Just for a moment, it has experienced spring, summer, autumn and winter, the changing seasons. Decades of life were robbed. Too terrifying. It's just a breath. Roar. The tiger spirit roared angrily, and this roar was also to cover up his embarrassment. I'm waiting for you to finish molting. After a while, tiger spirit said something like this. It saw the mystery. Don't dare to take half a step on the thunder pond. When I finish peeling, I will swallow you. Lin Mu sneered and closed his eyelids. Time ticks by every minute. Lin Mu's body is skyrocketing, his bloodline is improving, and his strength is increasing. The smell of snakes intensified, and the surrounding temperature dropped like the 12th lunar month of winter. The tiger spirit who was waiting to kill the snake shuddered for no reason. It feels stupid to wait like this. Sit back and wait for the enemy to be strong. But there is no way. That kind of taboo made it dare not try to enter. Suddenly, the tiger spirit's eyes lit up, and the taboo seemed to be gone, disappeared. Roar. The tiger spirit roared excitedly, and licked its lips with a red tongue full of barbs. Show your sharpness. It stomped on the ground with its 4 limbs, and its 3-foot mighty body shot over. Tiger essence killed the snake with lightning. Boom. The tiger essence fell to the ground in pain, and it felt as if it had hit an extremely strong wall. It was a stretching snake body, as thick as a tree held by 5 or 6 people, meandering on the ground. Seemingly boundless. Swipe, swipe, swipe. There was a sound like a metal impact. It was the scales of the snake rising and falling with the breath, making a terrible sound when rubbing against it. One turned and jumped up. The huge snake body instantly stood upright. Like an Optimus Prime, the length unexpectedly reached a terrifying 40 feet. A heavy shadow suddenly enveloped the tiger spirit. It was dark. How could it be so big? The tiger spirit was stunned. It only thought about killing the snake, and didn't pay attention to the opponent's huge body. Standing in front of him at this time, his whole body was covered with purple scales, as if wearing a yellow robe, mighty and domineering. Gives a sense of superior oppression. It raised its head vigorously, trying to have a panoramic view of the whole snake, but saw a pair of lantern-sized snake pupils. Those snake eyes were as cold as frost, touching them made Hu Jing's head froze. An urge to worship suddenly arises abruptly. It unconsciously held its breath and stared, gradually sweating profusely. In the dark, an unprecedented panic rose in the tiger spirit's heart. This snake is his catastrophe. However, in just a moment, the tiger spirit suppressed his panic, and his eyes were full of fierceness. It is not frightened. Throughout the life of the tiger spirit, he is invincible in the mountains and fields. 500 years of practice. Even a gutsy tiger dares to roar to the sky. Even a mere snake dares to challenge its majesty. Roar. The tiger spirit roared angrily, and its body fell to the ground again. It kicked out suddenly, leaving extremely deep paw prints on the ground. He rushed towards the huge python in front of him. Want to throw it down and kill it. But a snake tail as thick as the body of a tree seems to have fallen from the sky. Hu Jing's body was smashed overwhelmingly. The tiger spirit howled in pain and flew out backwards. I don't know how many trees I hit before I barely landed. So embarrassed. Just one round. Compete with each other. The aloof Lin Mu swallowed the letter, and looked at the embarrassing tiger spirit in the distance with a pair of snake pupils without a trace of emotion. It's like watching a dead person. Immediately afterwards, a gust of wind swept across the forest, and a huge purple snake shadow passed by. Suddenly the tiger spirit was enveloped. Winding. Roar. The tiger spirit roared unwillingly. Lin Mu's huge body entangled it tightly, pulling it closer and closer. The iron-hard body scales scraped against the tiger's body, and thousands of iron scales opened and closed. Like thousands of sharp knives cutting the flesh of a tiger spirit. The tiger spirit's will to fight was instantly disintegrated, and it was defeated. And there was no room for resistance at all. A snake head looked down at the tiger spirit from top to bottom, and the golden-faced snake face was full of contempt. 30 years in Hedong, 30 years in Hexi. For the snake Lin Mu, it doesn't take 30 years. He only needs 18 days. Back then, the tiger spirit was like a god coming down to earth, majestic and majestic. Now, in Lin Mu's eyes, he is no different from a domestic cat. Do you remember a snow-white young snake? The indifferent voice reached Tiger Spirit's ears. The tiger spirit was shocked, his eyes filled with disbelief. Mere spicy strips. I won't just throw in the towel. Hu Jing has a strong desire to survive and wants to fight to the death. I saw a strong resentment emanating from its tiger body. There was a sound of howling ghosts and wolves in the forest. A figure emerged from the strong resentment, with disheveled hair and claws. Lin Mu's snake pupils contracted, and he became surprised. Ghost. Nemas is a ghost. Ghosts are ghosts that are eaten by tigers and become servants of tigers. They have bad behavior and often lure their relatives to come to be eaten by tigers. The so-called working for the tiger. Lin Mu counted, and there were more than a dozen ghosts manifesting, leaning over his body. Bite desperately. Tiger spirit, I will swallow you. Lin Mu was very angry. This tiger is really devoid of conscience, really hateful. It's fine to eat people, and it also turns people's souls into ghosts. You can't enter reincarnation after death, and you have to work for it. Flame. Lin Mu roared. I saw the tiger spirit's tightly wrapped body burst into flames. Woo woo woo. The tiger spirit suddenly wailed in pain. The snake was on fire, but it was it that burned. The tiger spirit kept roaring in pain and struggling desperately. But the more I struggled, the tighter and suffocated I became. It watched its own tiger body being burned and roasted like this. It hurts so much. Vitality drains quickly, and the ghost leaning over Lin Mu's snake screamed fiercely. But there was a hint of relief in the screams. Finally, in the billowing flames, it turned into bursts of thick smoke and dissipated. Completely erased from this world. The tiger essence has practiced Taoism for 500 years, and its vitality is vigorous, so it is not so easy to die. He was scorched by the flames on Lin Mu's body for more than 10 minutes. Until the smell of cooked meat filled the mountains and forests, it finally made people's index fingers twitch. The tiger essence that has practiced for 500 years was roasted by Lin Mu in this way. Withdrew from the historical stage of this mountain. A bloody mouth opened wide, swallowing the ripe tiger essence bit by bit. Until completely swallowed. After swallowing the tiger essence, Lin Mu lost her anger. At this time, a life memory from Tiger Spirit, do you want to check it? In Lin Mu's mind, there was an abrupt voice from the system. Okay, Tiger Spirit's life memory, this is a bit interesting. Check. Suddenly, a completely unfamiliar picture appeared in front of Lin Mu's eyes. In a well-lit cave, there is a tiger cub lying on the ground. I was crying on my stomach. Judging by its appearance, it should have been born within a few months. Soon, a huge black striped white-skinned tiger came beside the cub. The only pair of eyes full of power and power are full of kindness. It gently patted the cub with its paw. Then he lay down next to him. The cub's eyes lit up, he stopped barking, and began to drink breast milk. A happy expression on his face. The little cub goes to sleep when he is full, and drinks when he wakes up. Simple and joyful, and the tiger mother has been guarding it, except for hunting, never leaving it. Under the careful care of the tiger mother, the cubs grow up carefree. Until one day, it was hungry and cried. It doesn't take long for the tiger mother to come to it and feed it. But this time the tiger mother went hunting for a long time and did not come back. The cub was so hungry that he couldn't stand it, so he glanced at the white expanse outside the cave. It couldn't help but walked out. If the tiger mother is there, she will definitely stop her death behavior severely. Any powerful creature is extremely fragile when it is young. Finally, the cub stood on a sloping field halfway up the mountain with a curious face. Looking around, the green hills are verdant, and the clouds and mists are billowing in the distance, so magnificent. But when the young tiger looked down the mountain, he was stunned. It saw a gang of twelegs dragging its mother down the mountain. That's the mountain hunter. The tiger mother, who usually loves her mother like a mountain, was dragged by someone and remained motionless. It turned into a corpse. The cub barked loudly, but it didn't have the slightest tiger prestige. It can't be passed down the mountain. On this day, the cub grew up overnight, because the time when it lay down and drank its mother's milk was gone forever. The young tiger also deeply remembered the group of hunters. It hated those twilights down the mountain. After that, every day at this hour, on a certain hillside, there will always be tiger cubs. It roared to the sky, and the sound spread all over the field. Gradually, day after day, the voice became thicker and thicker. Gradually, the sound of the tiger's howl began to soar into the sky, and the small beasts in the mountain were frightened. Driven by hatred, young tiger not only survived successfully, but also became stronger and stronger. It rises very quickly, and one day, a mysterious shackle in the body is cut off by it. The majestic energy released poured into every inch of flesh and bone in the body. When the flame pattern covered its body, it announced the coronation of the crown. It knows that it has transformed itself and embarked on an unknown and powerful road. Its roar and roar resounded through the sky, and this mountain ushered in the real king of beasts. At this moment, it also knew that it could take revenge. From then on, the tiger spirit traveled all over the green hills, killing what it thought were two-leg hunters. Every time it is caught, it will be killed in the most cruel way, and then eaten. Then refine them into ghosts, and let these ghosts guide their relatives down the mountain to the mountain. Then let the tiger essence eat it. Repeatedly. This tiger essence has 500 years of Taoism, not 500 years of cultivation. It is produced by cannibalism. Lin Mu is like watching a movie, watching how a tiger spirit rises from this mountain. Watching the tiger spirit eat people so cruelly. I don't know if I turned into a snake, but my heart didn't fluctuate much. Goblins cannibalize people, which has been the case since ancient times. Speaking of which, he is also a fairy now. Aside from this memory, Lin Mu has other gains. Because through the memory of tiger spirit, he understood the world at once. This is a world where fierce ghosts and ghosts are rampant. What ruled was the Ming dynasty of the human race. The founding ancestor Tezu unified the world by force. And because of the evil spirits in the world and the chaos in the world, Tezu's methods were strong. In order to clear the government of officials, Buddhism and Taoism jointly established two special imperial court organizations, the Demon Slaying Division and the Immortal Compassion Division. The front is to kill demons, and the back is to drive away ghosts. In addition to the imperial court eagle and dog masters, there are also many disciples of Buddhism and Taoism joining the Demon Slayer. One is secular experience, exercising psychic spells. The second is to express their attitude and willingness to work for Daming. As for Gongxianxi, officials who had meritorious deeds died, were canonized by the imperial court as ghosts and gods, and received incense forever. The head of the division, Chengwang, is in charge of Yin and Yang, the 4 judges on the left and right, and the chief officials of the 24 divisions, who are in charge of the ears and drive away ghosts and evil spirits. The mountain where Lin Mu is now is called Tianxing Mountain, which is the base camp of demons and ghosts, with Kyoto as its back. His current position is only a shallow mountain area. So there will be hunters. In the depths of the mountain, even a tiger spirit with 500 years of practice has no courage to step into it. At the foot of Tianxing Mountain, there are human villages all over. A Tianhe River in the mountains vents down, flowing continuously, and thousands of villages of different sizes are scattered along the way. Relying on mountains to eat mountains, relying on water to drink water. It is a suburb of Kyoto. As Lin Mu thoroughly absorbed the memory of tiger spirit, she gradually gained a clear understanding of the world. The reason why Tianxing Mountain became the stronghold of monsters is mainly because the founding ancestor of the country was too strong and hated evil like a vengeful. At the beginning, the division of demon slaying and the division of worshipping immortals were set up, and they issued 13 decrees to slay demons and drive away ghosts. It is said that in the first year, hundreds of thousands of demons were thrown into the demon refining cave and melted. The monsters in the world who were frightened finally hid in Tianxing Mountain. Don't dare to make mistakes. Now the 13th emperor of the Ming dynasty, Ming Xuanwang, is in power. Emperor Zan of the Ming dynasty was capable of writing and martial arts, and it is said that he was the emperor who most resembled the founding ancestor of the country. The means are strong, wise and martial. As soon as he ascended the throne, he issued a decree to kill demons and gods. The 2 divisions must complete a certain amount of monster-slaying performance every month. He wants a bright future. In the Ming dynasty, whenever a wise and mighty emperor came to the throne, it would be a fatal blow to the world's monsters. Lin Mu was a human being in his previous life. Even if he became a demon in this life, he naturally has no intention of causing trouble in the world. But for the sake of safety, I'm afraid I can't go down the mountain easily. If the masters of demon-slaying masters catch it, it will be skin cramps. You must know that the whole body of a snake is full of treasures. His snake is even worse. If you don't transform into a dragon, you won't leave the gate. After digesting the memory of the tiger essence, Lin Mu's winding snake body descends across this mountain forest. 10,000 times time acceleration was turned on again. 500 years of cultivation is really nothing. According to Tiger Spirit's memory, human martial arts masters are divided into 9 ranks. 9th rank chi refining fighters can deal with fine goblins. Rank 6 can capture the 1,000-year-old monster. A powerhouse around the 3rd rank can deal with the demon king who has practiced for thousands of years. Even a giant crocodile with hundreds of thousands of years of magic power would not dare to easily challenge the majesty of the imperial court. Time flew by again. 19 days, 20 days, 21 days. The host's cultivation has reached 600 years, and he has comprehended the magic of small and small. Remarks. As big as you want, you can make your body change arbitrarily according to your own ideas. It can be big or small, it can be raised or hidden, and it is not restricted for a moment. Lin Mu didn't open his snake eyes, but his eyelids couldn't help trembling. Show his inner excitement. To be honest, his current body is getting bigger and bigger as he cultivates. Before he devoured tiger essence, he was 40 feet. Now it is nearly 50 feet. Although there are great benefits, the disadvantages are also obvious. It's just too ostentatious. When parading in the forest, all the birds and beasts flew away. It will be even more inconvenient if you go down the mountain in the future. Even if the master of demon slaying is blind, he can still find this snake. Lin Mu can't stay in the mountains all his life. You must know that Lin Mu is the soul of human beings. It would be much more convenient if it could be transformed into a small snake. Rui, big or small, is very much in line with Lin Mu's needs. He can be big or small, he can be promoted or hidden. Lin Mu couldn't help but think of Tiangong's 36 methods, which also has a similar great supernatural power. For the law, heaven and earth. That can be described as an evolutionary version of the wishful size. Once it is used, it can become a gigantic giant, with its head reaching the sky and its feet on the ground, with infinite power and the unity of heaven and man. And Rui's size can only make Lin Mu smaller from the original body, but cannot break through the original body and become bigger. Compete with each other. But Fatian Shangdi is a magic spell of the gods in the 36 heavens. How can it be that Lin Mu can easily comprehend now? Afterwards, Lin Mu went into a silent practice again. Have fun. Tens of thousands of times the time is accelerated. Not only can the body skyrocket, strengthen the Taoism, but also comprehend the magical powers. Can resist. Unknowingly, 700 years of Taoism. Congratulations to the host for comprehending Earth Shah's cloud summoning technique. Lin Mu opened the snake eyes, stopped practicing, raised his head slightly and glanced at the sky. Single eye. It's like an auspicious cloud in the sky has been activated. In an instant, it fell from the horizon to the eyes of the huge snake. My snake can fly through the clouds. In a word, I couldn't hide my excitement. Lin Mu couldn't stop the charm of speeding up his practice 10,000 times. But every 100 years, one can comprehend a technique of earth evil. And with the advancement of Taoism, the spells comprehended will be of great help to Lin. The size is as you wish, and the body becomes smaller. Call Shangyan. You can ride the clouds and ride the fog, soaring between heaven and earth. Even though his snake is still too early to transform into a dragon, he can enjoy the treatment of a god. Isn't it beautiful? But Lin Mu didn't try to control the auspicious cloud in front of him. Now is not the time to relax. The heart moved freely, and the auspicious clouds returned to the sky. After 800 years of practice, Lin Mu was looking forward to what he would learn in the next spell. But the strange thing is that it turned out to be a bye. He didn't comprehend any spells, not even supernatural powers. 900 years of Taoism, the same bye. Lin Mu couldn't figure it out. Running out of potential. People mistake the place for a while, and the place mistakes people for a year. In a blink of an eye, Lin Mu practiced for a whole month. He thought that there would be nothing but joy, but a systematic voice appeared in his mind. Congratulations to the host who has 1,000 years of Taoism and comprehends the wind and rain of the 36 dharmas of Tiangong. Remarks. It can summon strong winds, make heavy rain fall, and also make the clouds disappear and the rain disperse. Among them, blizzards, hail, typhoons, etc., all belong to the list of clouds and rain. As soon as the voice came out, Lin Mu suddenly opened his snake eyes. All radiant, the breath of snakes soared. The birds and beasts in the mountains and forests that were originally calm flew around in fright. My mother, the 200-year by before dare to love is a big move for me to hold back. As soon as Lin Mu's Taoism broke through the millennium, he realized the great magic that can manipulate astronomical phenomena. Lin Mu was very excited, although calling the wind and calling the rain was considered a medium spell in the 36 celestial gangs. Not the most powerful immortal spells that can reverse yin and yang, move stars and change battles. But Lin Mu is already very satisfied. Just reach the millennium Taoism. Then you can control the wind and rain. Saying it out will make other monsters in Tianxing Mountain vomit blood with envy. Haha, try it. Lin Mu stopped the acceleration of 10,000 times time. Come on, call the wind and rain for me. As soon as these words came out, the sky changed color, and patches of dark clouds pushed over from all directions. This year is the 25th year of Ming Xuanwang's reign, early summer. Severe drought. It has been more than a year without rain in Kyoto. Those who live in the capital are all dignitaries. Even if it does not rain, they are not afraid of running out of water. But this has hit thousands of villages on the outskirts of Kyoto. Due to lack of water and food, it is about to be destroyed. The people were displaced and starved for thousands of miles. It can be said that the people are in dire straits. That's when the rumors started flying. It is said that every time there is a severe drought, evildoers will rise up and make trouble. The masters of demon slaying will keep their eyes on Tianxing Mountain, as long as there are evildoers who dare to go down the mountain. Immediately apprehend, skin cramps. But the demons are easy to get rid of, but the demons are hard to get rid of. If the drought is not alleviated and the land is not harvested, even if there are no demons coming down the mountain to cause trouble, the people can only die of thirst and starvation. At this time, many people went to the Earth Temple to pray for rain. The Earth Temple is built in the center of the suburbs, and the God of Earth is the righteous God for Shanxi. Although he is the last righteous God, he is much more powerful than those ghosts and ghosts. Possesses a deity. It has the ability to consume its own incense to make rain. At this time, the Earth Temple in the suburbs was overcrowded, and countless people offered chicken, duck and fish as sacrifices to pray for rain. At the corner of the temple, a puff of blue smoke rose from the ground, and immediately a white-haired old man appeared. The old man held a cane in his hand, wore a long robe and a black hat, and had a kind eyebrow. It looks like the kind grandfather who leads the family, but this grandfather is only 2 feet tall. It is the local land god. Don't beg, it's not because the old man refuses to rain for you, but because he doesn't dare. Although the land god manifested, no one could see him. He shrank himself in a corner, muttering to himself with a sad face. The canonized ghosts and gods in Gongxianxi, such as the city god, water god, and land, have the ability to use incense to rain. However, there is no order from the imperial court yellow book, and any god who reigns without permission is a great rebellion. Those who are suspected of being good at gathering incense will be destroyed and temples destroyed. Decades ago, a county in a certain state happened to experience severe drought for several years, and the local landowner sympathized with the people in the territory. Unauthorized rainfall, secretly changing underground rivers to irrigate farmland. The imperial court was furious, and Emperor Zan of the Ming dynasty even scolded Shanxi city god. In a few days, the imperial court sent people to come and suppress the landlord. The gods and souls were scattered on the spot, and the Earth Temple was destroyed. No matter how long the drought is, the current imperial court has not issued a yellow book, and the gods of all walks of life will reign without will. That's what happens. Emperor Zan of the Ming dynasty came up again and took charge of the leader of the world, who would dare to disobey him. In the local temples, even if you lose believers, the incense keeps dying, and everyone is burning with anxiety, you can only let it go. Why hasn't the imperial court issued a yellow book for rain? The people in the suburbs are also people. The parents were anxious to follow the ants on the hot pot, but there was nothing they could do. No, I'm going to the capital to meet the city god, I can't just wait. The land disappeared like a ghost. The next moment it appeared in the capital where every inch of land is expensive. Another puff of green smoke appeared in the town god's temple built by Gongshanxi in Nanchang. At this time, the temple of the town god was full of incense, and there were many believers. They worshipped every day, and there were endless fruits and vegetables, 3 animals and 5 birds. I just asked the city god for rain. Get it right. Inside the main hall of the town god's temple, the common people knelt on the ground. However, there is also a town god's temple underground, which is not accessible to ordinary people, which is the same as the temple above. It's almost like a copy. But here it is dark and windy, and ghosts are crying and gods are howling. It's just that there is a special kind of majesty and righteousness in the dark air. City god sits at the main seat, the 4 major civil and military judges on the left and right, and the chief judges of the 24 divisions, all gathered together. The head of the city god is the head of the Gongxian division, a first-class righteous god, who has commanded the Kyoto Yin division for hundreds of years. Even the most powerful ghost king outside is just a little ghost in front of the city god. Whoosh! The god of land appeared and knelt down in front of the city god. Master Shanchang, why hasn't the imperial court issued an order to rain? With a clear will, these gods will do the job. The people have water to eat, and everyone is happy. The court did not lose either. Why not? The land god couldn't figure it out. The city god glanced at the land lightly, and sighed. The imperial court has its own intentions, you don't need to think too much, just wait and see. Then how long will it take? The common people can still wait, but the crops in those fields don't wait for anyone. This truth, do you think this god doesn't understand? But if the court doesn't issue an order to rain, this god can't do anything because he is a city god. A civil judge snorted coldly. I think it's clearly not the imperial court's problem, the problem lies with the demon slayer. Their demon-slaying division has not been able to complete the performance of catching monsters in the past few months. Fearing that the Emperor Zan will punish him, he came up with a fishing method. The demons are hiding in the depths of the Tianxing Mountains and cannot come down, and Sikong the demon slayer can't do anything even with all his strength. Just mess up one person's heart, and let those evildoers take the opportunity to go down the mountain and fish in troubled waters. They come again with a praying mantis catching cicadas and orioles following. Damn demon slayers, they know how to catch demons. Don't they know that people in the suburbs have no water, and many people will die? Once people die of thirst or starvation, they will generate resentment and turn into ghosts. They're not afraid. No matter how many ghosts there are, it has nothing to do with the demon slayer. If ghosts run rampant, the court will only blame us on the immortal. In the main hall, gods and gods began to discuss angrily. After a few words, the god of earth understood roughly, blowing his beard and staring angrily. The purpose of catching monsters is for the common people, but because of catching monsters, people starve to death everywhere, isn't it putting the cart before the horse? Damn Wei Shuzun, he really isn't the son of man. Yes, not the son of man. The gods reunited one after another. Who is Wei Shuzun? He is the current boss of the Monster Slayer division, and his status is equivalent to ranking among the 3. It is said that he is not a human race, but his body is a divine beast, so that he can sit in charge and slay demons. Overlook the monsters in the world. Everyone be careful, Mr. Wei is an important minister of the court. Even if we are gods, we can't discuss it lightly. Lord Chengwang suppressed the discussion, and wanted to let everyone calm down, but his tone suddenly paused. Then his face suddenly changed. A pair of sharp eyes full of coercion instantly looked outside the hall. At this moment, the 4 major judges, the chief officers of the 24 divisions, and the land god all looked outside one after another. Surprised. Boom. They pricked up their ears and heard the sound of thunder exploding. The source of the sound is the sky of Kyoto. Whoosh whoosh. The gods agreed tacitly, and immediately stepped outside. There was thunder and lightning outside, and the wind was strong, and it got dark for a few minutes. The city god looked up at the sky and was shocked. The wind and thunder meet, and the water vapor condenses. This is the way of rain. As soon as the words fell, the sky began to pour rain. The imperial court has not issued a yellow book of rainfall. Who dares to openly rain? This courage is bigger than his city god. The land god was very pleasantly surprised. Where is the hero who is so good for the country and the people? The rain is good, and it can greatly alleviate the drought. The people in the suburbs were saved. The city god's face was imposing. He kept pinching his fingers, trying to figure out the person who reigned, and see who was bold. Then, after a while, his majestic and sharp eyes locked on the Tianqing mountain towering above the clouds in the suburbs. Afterwards, he flew into a rage, and a wave of divine coercion permeated the air. The surrounding 4 magistrates, the heads of the 24th Division, and the land Shendu couldn't help panicking. They all knelt down. What's wrong, my lord? City god's voice is like a knife, like a sword. The source of the rain is Tianqing mountain. What? The monster reigns. For a moment, they all burned with anger. The monsters in Tianqing mountain are becoming more and more lawless. This is a blatant challenge to Gong Shanxi and the majesty of the Ming court. The people pray for rain, and the evildoers send rain. This is slapping them in the face. This not only harbors evil intentions, still win people's hearts, please the people. It is even more suspected of being good at gathering incense. A mortal chief, the evildoer is reigning at this time, clearly to please the people, and wants the power of incense. This kind of thing must not be tolerated. Investigate, thoroughly investigate. The city god's words were murderous. No matter who the evildoer is, what cultivation level, if found, he will be wanted and killed immediately. But the god of earth exclaimed, "My lords, look at the sky of Tianqing mountain." Everyone heard the words and looked intently. I saw dark clouds covering Tianqing mountain, but there was a snake shadow appearing in the dense clouds, roaring up to the sky. It turned out to be a snake demon. I'm afraid it wants to escape from the flood dragon and needs the incense and fire protection of the people so that it can survive the catastrophe in the future. City god took a look and saw everything clearly. Immediately, he looked at the god of land. You are the parent official in the suburbs. Not only do you have to manage thousands of villages, but you also have the responsibility to monitor Tianqing mountain. In recent years, is there any powerful snake demon in the mountain? The god of earth thought for a while and shook his head. Hundreds of years ago, the snake king of Tianqing mountain, who practiced 5,000 ways, was about to walk away, so he went down the mountain to help the people. He wanted to gather incense, but he was quickly discovered by the demon slayer and arrested him. Skin cramps. In recent years, I have never heard of any powerful snake monsters appearing in Tianqing mountain. HMPH. Chengwang Temple snorted coldly. To be able to use the method of rain, I am afraid that you have mastered the celestial magic of calling wind and rain. Such a monster has at least 5,000 years of Taoism. You, a parent official, have not noticed it. The lower official has neglected his duty, and he will definitely check it out when he goes back. No need, the god will send someone to investigate. Suddenly someone exclaimed, "The rain stopped, the rain stopped." The city god's face softened a little. Even that evildoer still knows how to measure himself, so he left room for himself, but unfortunately it's too late. The majesty of the imperial court cannot be provoked, and I will not tolerate slaps in the face, even more for Shanxi. On that day, the city god sent countless ghosts and ghosts to secretly go to Tianqing mountain to thoroughly investigate the whereabouts of the snake demon. A certain area of Tianqing mountain. Lin Mu's 60-foot snake body was weak and weak. He never expected that casting a wind and rain spell would drain his mana in an instant. The entire huge body collapsed. As expected of a celestial spell, I can't control it with my current skills. The 1,000-year Taoism is too low, and once it is used, it will be powerless. Lin Mu wants to unscrupulously under a heavy rain. It may be difficult to do without a 3,000 to 5,000-year Taoism. Even if you can barely use it now, it's too embarrassing for yourself. Isn't it just 5,000 years, what a big deal. Once Lin Mu figured it out, he only practiced for half a year. Suddenly, at this time, a hair-thin holy light appeared strangely above Lin Mu's head. Wisps and strands swayed down toward his body. The integration of the holy light made Lin Mu feel happy immediately, and he couldn't help moaning. It seems that my body has received some kind of huge improvement. That feeling is miraculous. I can't explain it clearly, but it really happened. Ding! The host rains down on the world, nourishes all things, gains merits and virtues, and chances and fortunes can be improved. Quote. Suddenly, a karma scale appeared on the forehead of the snake Lin Mu. Just like the Buddha seal between Bodhi's eyebrows. There is a holy light shining. The holy light just now, is it a merit? Lin Mu's snake eyes lit up, no wonder he couldn't explain clearly. The merits and virtues that fell just now have invisibly enhanced Lin Mu's wisdom and increased Lin Mu's blessings. Let this snake turn bad luck into good fortune in the future, and live a long life. For spiritual beings, if you have merits and virtues, you will be rooted, and you will have the opportunity to become a generation of animal immortals in the future. That is, the gods in the mouth of the people. If you want to become a god, the biggest obstacle is that when your cultivation reaches a certain level, you have to go through the catastrophe. Only by successfully crossing the catastrophe can you ascend to the rank of immortals. If you have merit and virtue to protect your body, then heavenly tribulation will treat you kindly and will not kill you. Like those monsters full of evil, they are most afraid of catastrophe. Because they not only have no merit to protect the body. If you follow along with a whole body of resentment, you will undoubtedly die if you cross the catastrophe. Many demon kings like giant crocodiles would rather be reincarnated by themselves. None of them are willing to go through the catastrophe, but they know that they are bound to die. Your own cultivation is to rely on cannibalism to cheat, and you still want to get a diploma. Lin Mu didn't expect that the rain would bring him merit. This can be regarded as a crooked attack. The people at the bottom of the mountain are so short of water. The scales of merit and virtue are constantly manifesting above his forehead. 1, 10, 100. The scales of meritorious deeds are like bean sprouts that have broken through the soil, and they are endless. In the end, a whole 1,000 meritorious scales were printed on Lin Mu's forehead. Let his snake head seem to be wearing a crown, adding a sense of supreme majesty. It is extraordinary and refined, with auspicious omens. This head is protected by 1,000 merits and virtues, making it invulnerable to swords and guns, water and fire. Thunder never goes out. If the snake Lin Mu is covered with merit scales in the future, he will be immortal. Live the same life as the sky and the same age as the earth. If it weren't for the mana being emptied, I really want to have another rain. Lin Mu murmured excitedly, but thinking about it, there will be opportunities in the future. After the excitement, the body is too weak now, get smaller and relieve the pressure. I saw the terrifying body spanning 60 feet, miraculously shrinking at a speed visible to the naked eye. This is the benefit of large and small wishful spells. In a blink of an eye, the giant snake of 60 feet became about 10 feet. Now, almost every 100 years I strengthen my Taoism, my body also soars by 10 feet. When I become the Snake King in the mountains, I will change my practice place for myself. This forest is too small to accommodate Lin Mu's body. From then on, he closed his eyes and turned on the 10,000-fold time acceleration. In an instant, with a flick of the finger. As time passes by, time drowns the sun and the moon, and confuses the universe. Lin Mu, the snake, has entered that dreamlike, ethereal state again. With 1,000 years of Taoism. Invisibly, Lin Mu's snake body began to exude a unique snake-domineering aura. This invisible arrogance made the birds and beasts in the nearby forest tremble. Low tide trembling, trepidation. What's even more strange is that there are a large number of poisonous snakes swimming in all directions in the mountains and forests. These poisonous snakes came swimmingly, and slowly crawled not far from Lin Mu, a 10-foot giant snake. Waiting quietly, as if waiting for his king to wake up. This is just the first batch. Under the influence of Lin Mu's arrogance, a large number of snake creatures in the deep mountains woke up. There is an endless stream of swimming, densely packed, like locusts crossing the border. Even the little snake spirit who has practiced seems to feel it, and trembles all over. There is a mysterious force in the dark calling them. Irresistible, undeniable, like an imperial decree. Looking at these snake spirits, they are all grotesque and strange. Some have long antlers, some have yellow hair, some have 4 legs, some have 2 heads, and some have wings on both sides. There are even dragon heads and phoenix tails, black and white. Its color is different, size and length are not the same. These snakes have been cultivated to become refined, and the blood of the snakes has undergone a mutation. Or maybe he practiced some kind of demon technique, which made him look very different. Some were even weirder, some like lizards, some like lobsters. There are also those with the head of a bull and the body of a snake, those with the head of a horse and the body of a snake, and those with a coxcomb on their heads. Some have a body like a square seal, some have a body like a sling. Throwing any one out will be a disaster for one party. King of Snakes. They stopped practicing, and all made strange noises. All kinds of ghosts and snakes swam out like a tide, rushing towards the direction of Lin Mu. The number of poisonous snakes that have not matured is even greater, and the scale has formed a snake tide. As Lin Mu continued to practice, his aura became stronger and stronger. All the snakes in Tianxing Mountain are drawn by it. 15 days later, when Lin Mu reached 1,500 years of cultivation, the snake-like aura on his body became even worse. Boom! Thunder and lightning flashed in the sky, like a raging monster trying to tear the clouds apart. Break out of the shackles of thick clouds. The huge thunder seems to be roaring in the sky, and it seems to be roaring underground. In a black water pond in Tianxing Mountain, a python demon with dark scales several tens of feet soared into the sky from the water. With a terrifying evil spirit, there is also a strong resentment. Resentment is the appearance of a deep sin. The breath of the Snake King. How is it possible? A new Snake King will appear in Tianxing Mountain. HMPH, it's not easy to be the king of snakes, you have to overwhelm the snakes. The gigantic body of the python snake meanders away in a flash. Any snake demon with more than 1,000 years of Taoism is eligible to compete for the throne of the Snake King. Once you overwhelm the snakes, you will ascend the throne and sit in the palace, becoming the king of snakes in the mountains and commanding the snakes in the world. Don't dare not follow. But 1,000 years of Taoism is just a qualification certificate, and one can truly become a Snake King. No one has practiced for thousands of years, no doubt wishful thinking. Please like and subscribe.